Empires rise, cities flourish, towers pierce the skies. Civilizations carve their names into history, and yet, all too often, they fall. The greatest civilizations humanity has ever known gone, vanished, forgotten, or nearly so. What causes such monumental collapses? Was it war, famine, hubris, or something far more insidious? Today, we journey into the ashes of history, its most powerful empires, to uncover the secrets behind their downfall. Imagine standing in the heart of Babylon, at the peak of its glory, the hanging gardens reaching skyward, streets teeming with traders, scholars, and kings. And yet, within a few centuries, this marvel lay in ruins. What went wrong? Civilizations are like living organisms, a historian once said. They grow, they adapt, and eventually they wither. From Mesopotamia to the Maya, from the Roman Empire to the Indus Valley, history reveals an unsettling pattern. Greatness breeds complexity, and complexity can become a civilization's undoing. Take the Roman Empire. By the 2nd century CE, Rome had conquered much of Europe, the Middle East, and North Africa. Their roads stretched like veins across the continent. Their aqueducts delivered water to millions, and their laws shaped the backbone of Western civilization. Yet beneath this apparent invincibility, cracks were forming. Economic strain, political corruption, overextended borders, and a reliance on mercenary armies eroded Rome from within. Add to that waves of plagues and relentless invasions, and the mightiest empire of the ancient world began to crumble, not overnight, but slowly. What if Rome had faced a different set of challenges? Could it have survived? The question lingers, because collapse rarely comes from a single cause. It is a perfect storm of human error, environmental stress, and unforeseen calamities. The Maya civilization, flourishing from 250 to 900 CE, in what is now Mexico and Central America, produced breathtaking cities, sophisticated calendars, and astonishing astronomical knowledge. But then, it all fell silent. Scholars once believed that Spanish conquest ended the Maya, but long before European contact, cities like Tikal and Copan were abandoned. Why? Archaeological evidence points to a combination of factors: prolonged droughts that parched the fields, relentless deforestation, and overpopulation that strained resources. Internal strife and warfare between city-states only exacerbated the crises. Imagine a thriving metropolis suddenly cut off from food and water. The narrator pauses. What would you do if your crops failed year after year and your neighbors turned against you? The Maya didn't vanish, they scattered, leaving monuments to tell a story of brilliant ingenuity and tragic fragility. Thousands of years ago, the Indus Valley civilization stretched across what is now Pakistan and northwest India. Cities like Mohenjo-daro and Harappa boasted advanced urban planning, sewage systems, and standardized weights and measures. Trade flourished, and art and craft reached extraordinary heights. Then, almost inexplicably, the cities were abandoned around 1900 BCE. Scholars debate the causes. Climate change, shifting rivers, possibly even earthquakes disrupting agriculture. Unlike Egypt or Mesopotamia, the Indus left no written record explaining their disappearance. Could an entire civilization vanish without a trace? It's a haunting question that underscores the vulnerability of even the most sophisticated societies. Returning to Rome, the empire's fall is a testament to human ambition unchecked by limits. Political infighting weakened leadership. Inflation devalued currency. And the very tools of conquest, Roman legions, became instruments of chaos, when loyalty shifted to generals over emperors. Yet even in collapse, Rome left a legacy. Its language, law, and architecture endure to this day. There is a lesson here. Collapso sante race influencit, transforms it. So, what unites these collapses? What hidden patterns thread through time? Whether it was the dust bowls that may have toppled Mesopotamian city-states, or prolonged droughts that doomed the Maya, environmental stress repeatedly appears in the narrative of collapse. Civilizations rely on stable climates, fertile land, and predictable rainfall. When nature turns hostile, societies face existential pressure. Could modern civilization withstand a similar environmental shock? The question jolts the mind because history is a mirror, not just a story. Collapses often hinge on human decisions. Leaders who ignore warning signs, neglect infrastructure, or foment internal conflict accelerate decline. For instance, the Ming Dynasty in China, despite a long period of prosperity, fell to rebellion and economic turmoil in the 17th century. Meanwhile, smaller societies with resilient leadership sometimes survive similar history does not forgive complacency, the narrator, and neither does the passage of time. Environmental mismanagement can destabilize even the most sophisticated civilizations. Overextension and administrative complexity often precede decline. Social inequality and internal strife weaken the foundation of societies. Diseases and external invasions act as catalysts rather than root causes. Collapse is never sudden. The narrator emphasizes it is a slow unraveling, often invisible to those living through it. Looking at today's world, the parallels are unsettling. Climate change, political polarization, resource scarcity, and economic instability mirror the challenges faced by civilizations long ago. Will humanity learn from the past, or are we doomed to repeat it? It's a chilling thought, but history also offers hope. Civilizations survived collapse before by adapting, reforming, and innovating. The story of human resilience is as compelling as the story of decline. The ruins of Babylon, the empty streets of Mohenjo-Daro, the pyramids of the Maya, they speak to us across the millennia. They remind us that greatness is fragile, and that power, technology, and ingenuity cannot alone guarantee survival. Perhaps the greatest lesson of all, the narrator concludes, is that we are the stewards of our own destiny. The empires of the past whisper to us through stone and shadow, urging us to learn, adapt, and endure. History is not just a record of what was. It is a warning, a guide, and a challenge. Will we heed it before it's too late?